All right, welcome everybody. We are going to talk about JSM 2025. This is our Know Before You Go, which is sort of our annual prep for JSM so that we can make sure or help support people in having the best JSM experience that you can have. And so we've got a variety of tips and tricks for JSM if you're a first-time attendee or if you've been, but maybe just haven't been in a while. So in terms of attending, we want to draw your attention to some awesome JSM events, many of which are also awesome CWS events. And it begins on Sunday with the first timers reception. This is all the details are, of course, in the program and will be on the app. We really do strongly encourage you to download the app when it becomes available. The first timers reception is welcome to people who have been to JSM before, but it's a really great overview of the event and how to make the most of your JSM time. So that's Sunday at 12:30 p.m. The CWS reception and our business session is Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. This is where we have awards or we announce awards. We also announce election results, and we have nice food and drink. It's a great time to socialize with each other, meet other CWS people. And then we're very excited because this year, we're going to be walking together from the CWS reception to the president's talk because Ji-Hoon Lee is a CWS member, and we're excited to hear her talk together. So we'll sit together. In general, we think that invited sessions are typically better to attend than contributed sessions. Of course, contributed sessions are especially great if it's a person you know or a topic that's really relevant. But if you're just looking to expand your circle of people and topics, then check out something that's in the invited sessions or maybe an invited panel. I think the posters are really nice if you want to have more of a personal one-on-one connection with somebody to get to ask them about their work. And I think that's a nice way to have more casual interactions with somebody. The presentation, or I'm sorry, the program has information about the public receptions. So sometimes those are universities or companies, and those are excellent for both food and for networking. So feel free to attend and help yourself to food and drink, and then also ask some questions about the type of work or perhaps the specialty that that university has in terms of statistics or data science. Whenever you are asking questions, we love questions at JSM sessions. I encourage people to hold the microphone very close to your mouth. You definitely have to use the microphone. It's not just because of your personal voice, but it's also because we often have hearing impaired or deaf people, and we want to make sure that they have the best chance of hearing as well. So when you hold it truly up to your mouth, like as if you're sort of shining, as if it's a flashlight and you're trying to shine it onto the back of your teeth. A lot of people just sort of hold it down by their chest, maybe where you would hold a bouquet of flowers, and that is not the place to hold a microphone if you want to be heard. It's nice to give a brief introduction, so I would say Cynthia Bland, CWS, or Caucus of Women in Statistics and Data Science. My question is for Dr. So-and-so, and then I'd ask the question. And then my favorite point about questions is that questions do end in a question mark. So we are not here to give our own presentation. We are not here to correct something in someone's presentation. We're truly here to ask a question, to improve our own knowledge, or to perhaps gently ask if the presenter had considered a certain, test or topic or limitation of their work. I think that attending the conference is also a really important thing to do in conjunction with your personal LinkedIn profile. If you're meeting a lot of people, I don't think people use business cards as much anymore. Instead, people do often, take a picture of somebody's badge and with their permission, and then say, I'm going to connect with you on LinkedIn. And then depending on how you have your LinkedIn set up, it might be nice to to include a note in the connection request if that's available, so people know how, you know, who you are if they're getting a lot of requests. If you're a presenter at JSM, definitely follow the instructions that ASA is giving in terms of uploading your slides in advance, making sure that those are there for your personal stress level and for that of your chair. Someone who is chairing a session, it always feels good to know that the slides are already up there. I love to find my room a day or so in advance, or at least a few hours in advance. It helps to make sure that you know where you're going. You can get a sense of the size of the room. And then when you are in the room, make sure that you can check the laptop to again see that the slides really did load there. We encourage people to look forward into the room. So looking at the laptop or looking at the audience. When you turn your head to look back at the slides, you're again not going to have that microphone as close to your mouth as you need to. And that is essential for everyone to hear your room, but again, to have it for people who are hard of hearing or deaf. So make sure that we are using the microphone. It's really great if you have the ability in your companies or your universities or your government agencies slide deck, if there is a contact slide that you're allowed to have, include your social media, your LinkedIn, any ways that you feel comfortable being contacted. A piece of advice that I got starting out is that a presentation is really an advertisement for your paper. And so you're not going to be able to cover every interesting detail that you're wanting to talk about that maybe your research has. This is maybe not the best place to put all of your formulas, but it is a place to gain interest, to make people thirst for a little bit more knowledge about what you have to share. So if you are going to be presenting in the ASA proceedings, that is a terrific way to get a publication if you don't have some other sort of more lofty place for your journal. And in general, the audience really wants you to succeed. So smile, relax, and be comfortable knowing that you're with a lot of other statisticians and data scientists who are looking to share their interesting work, and people are here to support you. So here are some of the CWS events that we hope to mention that you'll be at. So I've already mentioned the first timers reception and the CWS reception and you know the awards and our business session. I forgot to mention before that we often have door prizes there, so that's another great reason to attend. Jessica mentioned earlier as we were getting started that the expo center, sort of the vendors area, is also has a place for smaller organizations and interest groups to have tables, and CWS has a table there as well. So we would love for you to come by and visit the CWS table. Meet the volunteers, meet some of the leadership of CWS, and then also get candies, get little trinkets and prizes, learn about some of the materials that we have. We'll be having a CWS bingo like we've had in many past years, which is always a fun event. And so we'd love to see you at the table, so stop by anytime. We, as CWS, support 3 different travel award winners, and it's really exciting to be able to attend and support the sessions that our travel award winners are presenting in. And those are listed here. So Davis, Wu, and Galvin are all presenting this year. And so they have presentations on Sunday afternoon, on Wednesday morning, and then also on Thursday morning. We know those Thursday morning sessions can be light in terms of attendees. So if you're still in town, that would be awesome to see you and support our up and coming CWS members. And we also have a long list of sessions here that we think are really exciting. CWS is a member of COPS, so the Committee of Presidents of Statistical Societies. So Umut is our president. And so we've got these sponsored sessions here and think that they are some of the best that we are seeing. And we've got a variety of different things to choose from at different times. So I think these are some really good sessions here. And again, these are invited and these are award ceremonies and special named lectures. So we've mentioned a lot of the positive sides of JSM. We also want to sort of be a little bit cautionary about some of the potentially negative sides of JSM. And so I do want to remind folks that by registering for JSM, we have also signed the Code of Conduct. And so that talks about the expected behaviors that we should have and what unacceptable behaviors we must avoid. So it's important to know that when we attend JSM, there are consequences for violating this code of conduct. So for example, a past violation that has occurred is that some people have been banned from attending JSM for 5 years. So we want to make sure that we are starting off on a good foot and making sure that we know what these behaviors are. We also want you to know how to report violations of the code of conduct. And so ASA has some ways to do that. We've got a link here to the JOT form, but it's also something that can be found through the conference website, and we'll be having some Twitter and other posts during the conference so that people can submit it about experiences that they have or experiences that they witness of unacceptable behaviors happening to other people. And so we want to make sure that we're being our best and having good conduct throughout with all of our interactions. So in terms of what is expected, we want to support the healthy exchange of ideas. We want to make sure that we do not insult or disparage other participants. So if we don't like the approach that somebody took on an analysis, we can have a difference of opinion, but we're not doing it through insults or personal commentary. We also need to be aware of these inherent hierarchical structures, not just in our data, but really in the power dynamics that occur between and among people. So you might think of this especially between students or early career statisticians, and then someone who might be more established in their career, perhaps a professor or someone more senior. We know that sometimes there's this imbalance in power, and it does not allow early career people to express their discomfort or to say no to a particular offer. So we need to really be sensitive to that, and just in general that we need to be aware of what other people are saying and feeling and be respectful of them. In terms of unacceptable behaviors, we've got a list here, but it focuses on threats or violent language, discriminatory jokes or language, anything that would be sexually explicit, and even things that are going to be related to social media or photography. We need to make sure that we are not becoming unnecessarily familiar with other people, whether that's through emotional or physical intimacy. We are really focusing here on a professional conference, and this is not a place where we are going to necessarily go and engage in romantic or sexual behavior. I think it really helps us as we're preparing for a conference with, thousands of people, with people we don't know, at least for me, to develop perhaps a game plan about what I might do if I'm in a difficult situation or if I see somebody else who could also be in a difficult situation. Personally, I think there are many times where it's hard to speak up in this world, and it helps me to be a little bit more prepared if how I could speak up if I see someone else perhaps being a little bit uncomfortable. And so this is what I call being a good human. And so sometimes if someone's in a situation that looks uncomfortable, it's good to go up to them and ask if they're okay. Or perhaps go up and sort of pretend that you know them and see if they're willing to play along with that. Say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm late. Here, come and meet this person. There are ways to sort of dissolve or diffuse tense situations with others. And if you feel comfortable with that, that's great. It's not necessarily for everybody. It's a good practice to have a buddy to attend receptions with you. Receptions are lots of fun. There's food, there's drink, there's conversation. You learn about different businesses. You learn about, the work that an organization is doing. But they do have alcohol, which can be a catalyst for negative behavior sometimes. So planning someone to attend with you could be a good policy. There are many JSM hotels, and so you can um, um, definitely keep your hotel information private. You do not need to share your hotel information with anyone at all. And I think that it's nice to um, be stern and firm that you do not want to have people walk you to your hotel or to your hotel room specifically. So if someone does insist on walking you to your hotel, and perhaps that feels comfortable for you, that's good. But plan to do something like stop at the front desk or the coffee station or something else in the lobby area, dispatch of that person, and then you can return to your room. But it's a lot more difficult to deal with that if someone is at your door. No is a complete sentence, or no thank you, is also a good way to get out of a conversation. Conversations that are personal don't have to be a JSM conversation. You can change the topic. You can say, wow, what a strange question. There are lots of ways to get out of that. But think about how you might feel comfortable deflecting personal questions, perhaps about your relationship status or anything like that, because not every question deserves an answer. And so you can figure out how to get rid of a person or how to excuse yourself from a conversation. And it can be as simple as, excuse me, and then walk away. But of course, I've said so much about JSM that sounds kind of scary or depressing, but I think it's a truly, fun and wonderful thing. And so we would encourage you to, think about the fun ways that you can engage with people like CWS members or other people from your university or from your industry. And we've got a list of a few things here. I have traveled to Nashville before, and I thought it was nice and easy to take transit from the airport to downtown. It's a nice straight 50-minute bus ride, and it's like $3. It does require an app, I believe, so check that out before you go. But it was nice and easy, and it's just as simple as Google would have you. And I think you see a lot about a city by learning its buses and getting to enjoy that and save a little bit of money as well. Think about planning ahead and finding dinner reservations, and then also thinking about a little bit of time to sightsee. Especially if you've been inside the conference center all day, it's nice to consider some different ways to go out and find a little bit about nature, look at the Cumberland River, or do something that feels a little bit local. It's also fun. We've got a list here of movies that were filmed in Nashville. So if you want to think about, getting a sense of the city or thinking about something that's a little bit more local before you go, we think these might be some fun ways to do that. So I'm going to open it up to anybody for an addition. Anything else that you want to add about JSM before we get to any questions? So Jessica, Umut?
I don't have anything else to add. You covered everything perfectly. Thank you very much, Cynthia. I think that's very, very helpful.
Thanks.
I'm with Umut. You did an
Okay.
awesome job.
All right. Any questions, any other suggestions? Anyone else have a fun way that they like to think about JSM? Anything we missed?
Yeah, I think it will be a great gathering. I always loved conferences. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all. But it's a great place to have a network, start your network, and and catch up with your network too, because some people they meet but they don't catch up afterwards. But network is something you need all the time. It is not just one time. So I highly encourage you to reach out to people that you know that you want to meet and schedule some time for some coffee, tea, because everyone will be extremely busy. And it is okay to miss some things out because it will be crowded even this year. There will be a lot going on. And it is okay to miss things, and you can always reach out to the presenters for more information on their topics, etc. So don't feel bad. That is my 2 cents.
That's a great tip. And I think we should add that to the slides for next time, Umut, because
Sure.
it can feel so overwhelming. Like you hate to miss out on anything, but sometimes the best part of a conference for me is often when I get takeout and I go to my hotel bed and I just eat food in my bed.
Yeah.
And then I don't
Yeah.
have to see anybody for a few hours. So it can be overwhelming a lot. So I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's a good tip.
Definitely. It will be overwhelming. That's for sure.
Yeah. Suwan, do you have any favorite JSM tips you want to add?
No, I'm so sorry. I just joined and I missed all the best parts, it seems like. But I'm sure you gave all the good tips and everything. So that's great.
Okay. One other thing, Yulia, is that we have little flags, ribbons, what are they called? That they go on our name tags. And so it's a good way to recognize other CWS members, and we'd love for you to come and pick one up at the table. And so, all right, so Jessica's showing hers off. It's the purple one, the bottom. And so it sort of is a way to be like, oh, we have something in common. And I think like to Umut's point about networking, it gives you a good opening with other women who are wearing that same thing and say, hey, I'm a CWS person too. So I encourage you to get that sort of early on Sunday, or whenever it opens. And that way you'll sort of have a good marker of other friendly people for the rest of the conference week.
Yeah, that's a great tip. Thank you very much. So, because I feel sometimes so very difficult just to come over to and people who I don't know. Yeah, and as I mentioned, so it's I haven't been in the US for a long time, so I don't know many statisticians. So mostly in Boston here. So, and it's much bigger. So in comparison with Europe, so yeah, I'm really excited and looking forward to it.
Well, that's wonderful. We'll also try to think if do we know other people offhand who are in the Boston area we can connect you with? I've got a friend from grad school who's up there. But I'm trying to think if we've got, I don't know if she's a CWS member. She should be. I think I've tried her a couple of times.
Sorry. There's an ASA chapter there. Not CWS, but
It's a different way to be connected. Yeah.
statisticians. I also put my number in the chat, so grab that in case you want it for
Yeah.
JSM. But maybe text me because I don't answer numbers I don't know all the time.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I put mine in
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I try.
I definitely don't answer. My phone's always on silent, but I do see texts. So I would be very happy if you know, need anything or you want to get breakfast or something, you know, let us know. We'd be happy to meet up.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
It was so nice to meet you, and good to see everybody. I hope y'all have a really nice Friday.
Y'all too.
Yeah, have a nice
Thank you
weekend as
very
well.
much.
Yeah,
You
thank
too.
you.